What is going on, Bulls Nation? So, dealing and wheeling, Portland is shaking up the NBA, and now Malcolm Brogdon is on the block. Should the Bulls pursue this guard, and can they even get him? Let's talk about it right after this.
Get the lowdown on one of the most iconic basketball teams in the world. You're listening to Chicago Bulls Nation.
All right, Bulls Nation. So, Portland has shaken the NBA, especially the Eastern Conference, by wheeling and dealing with Damian Lillard and then trading the pieces that they got from him as well. Now, as we know, Dame went to the Bucks, and now Drew went to the Celtics. So now, who's up next is Malcolm Brogdon, which is a pretty good point guard. Of course, not at the caliber of those three. He is probably the worst out of the three, but that's not saying he's a bad player. He's a very good player, just not Dame or Drew Holiday. With that being said, I wanted Drew. When he was traded, I know Dame was more of a pipe dream, but then they got Drew Holiday, and we were just like, hey, maybe we have a chance. Maybe the market for Drew, because he's an older guard with a pretty large contract. Maybe that's something attainable. And long and behold, it's not. Because honestly, I don't think the Bulls could have matched what the Celtics offered for Holiday, which is a pretty good offer of Brogdon and Robert Williams, which I think is a pretty good haul for. And I think another, like 2 first rounders or a pick swap. I think just one pick, but that's a pretty good deal right there. So now, with that being said, so we missed out on Dame. That's expected. Now we missed out on Drew. Again, I was kind of hoping for him, but honestly, we couldn't have beaten that package. There's no way. We just don't have that. Even if you include Patrick Williams, our pick, we don't even have a pick. We can give them their pick back, but that's not as enticeful to Portland. Now, can we even get Brogdon at this point? Maybe. That is a maybe. But the asking price shouldn't be that much, honestly, because Brogdon is like 30 years old. Okay, not that old. Like younger, definitely younger than Holiday. Has a slew of injuries as well for a guard. He is kind of like Lonzo, of course. A bigger guard at around 6'5". Not that old, at 30 years old. The contract is pretty similar to Lonzo as well, making $22 million per year, and also gonna end next year, which is the same contract as Lonzo. The difference is he is actually playing basketball. Now, if you asked me before Lonzo got injured, I would have definitely said no. Like, Lonzo used to have a higher ceiling than Brogdon. Used to is the key word. Brogdon is like the older, less upside Lonzo at this point. Still really serviceable, still a pretty good point guard. Was, the sixth man of the year. Could the Bulls use him? Of course, absolutely. Pair him up with DeMar and Zach. I think that would be a good lineup right there. But the question is, at what cost? If you're the Bulls GM, let's play GM here. What are you willing to give up to get Malcolm Brogdon? For me, he fits well with the Bulls. Maybe not as perfectly as Drew Holiday. But with that being said, because of the lower contract, he's making like $15 million less. I know he had this elbow injury last year. What are you willing to give up? If they can absorb Lonzo for salary purposes, and also the fact that they don't have to play Lonzo, he can remain on the bench, maybe buy him out, so they don't have to absorb that salary. Give him their pick back. And maybe a conditional first round pick for the Bulls. Maybe top 15 protected, top 10. I don't even know if that's going to get it done. I guess it all depends on what the market is out there for Brogdon. Does the Miami Heat wanted Brogdon? Philadelphia, do they want him? I don't know, because they have Tyrese Maxey. He's not that game changer like Drew Holiday would be because of Drew's defense. So with Bulls, I don't know if I'm willing to give up that much. Maybe because accepting Lonzo's salary in it by itself, you gotta reward the other team. By doing that, maybe that is the giving Portland their pick back by absorbing Lonzo, because I mean Lonzo is just a dead cap right now. By doing that, maybe you reward them by giving their pick, and then you gotta trade for Brogdon now. Now you gotta give them your pick. But it has to be protected. You can't give an unprotected pick for Malcolm Brogdon. He's one of those guys where I'll be like, I would love to have him, love to get him, but at a reasonable cost. Anything more than what I'm willing to pay, I'll just roll with the guys that we do have. We still have Kobe White. We just signed Javon Carter. Now, I'm not saying they're better than Brogdon. I'm not saying that at all, but let's not pretend that Brogdon's going to turn this team around either. So you don't want to give up real, future assets for Brogdon. Maybe a heavily protected first. And then Dalen Terry, perhaps. I don't really know. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that I'm not too willing to give up an unprotected first for Brogdon. If I was the Bulls, I'd roll with the guards. We got 75 guards right now, and we can't even trade them if we wanted to, because they all got extended. Ayo got extended. Kobe, Javon Carter just signed, so you can't trade those guards. So that means you're gonna have to dip into Dalen Terry, and we're already thin on the wing side. So I don't know. I mean, I would love to have him as the Bulls. Trust me, I would love to. Bring some stability on the point guard position if he is playing, but it's a big if. And what cost? That's probably the extent that I'm going to. Portland's pick, Dalen Terry, and Lonzo Ball. Maybe a top 10, top 12 first round pick, but that's pretty much it. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below, Bulls Nation. Do you want Brogdon here? And if you do, how much are you willing to pay? Because Portland is getting picks left and right. Would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're a Bulls fan, and I'll see you guys in the next video.